Yeah. Neat Nicole likes to boast. Aunt Jordan likes to roast. Sir Charles keeps it crisp. Cues the butter to the toast. Now it's time to keep it real. Competition not close. One stop for debating. Reality shows and this kids be the most. I'll be damn. I'll be damn. I'll be damn. Podcast going ham. I'll be damn.
Hey guys, welcome back to I'll Be Damn. It's your boy Aunt Jordan.
Nick Nicole.
So Charles.
And we also sponsor our Sweet Beat, the rhythm of life. This topic is kind of touchy off the Trey Nichols incidents that happened with police brutality. 5 black men that was actually, I think it was prosecuted already, right? It was already already fired, if I'm not mistaken, for brutally beating Trey Nichols off of a routine police stop that was supposed to be about reckless driving and endangerment, and come to find out that wasn't the case. First thing first, I want to get your opinion on, like, what did you think the first time you saw that actual footage?
Why is it hard for police officers that have, like, it was like, what, the first video was like 3 people? Or 4?
Yeah, it was 3 people.
Like 3 people. Okay, so they get him out the car, they got him on the ground pretty much damn near. And, he's having a hard time. They having a hard time putting his hand behind his back and stuff like that. It's 3 of y'all. Why are y'all having a hard time putting this dude in cuffs? And then he escapes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He gets away, tries to run to his parents' crib where y'all catch him again. And then y'all just go with a whole nigga beat down just out of nowhere. Just like, basically just jumped his ass, and it was just like, bro, why did he escape in the first damn place? And it just shows, like, bro, y'all police training ain't shit. Y'all just graduate niggas.
Yeah, it seems like people are literally just getting, you want to be a cop? Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, as long as you pass the physical requirements. I don't even think, because there's supposed to be a psychiatric test as well to make sure you're stable enough to handle certain situations. But it don't seem like that's being tested like that, because
I think part of the problem is the training. I think, of course, it's too short, but I also think the other part is, are you holding people accountable for that training? You can train someone by the book, but once you send them on their own, are they continuing to do that same job?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when it comes to police training, I believe that, like, I think it'll help if civilians know what was actually going into the police training before they was actually making passing the academy. If we would actually know the steps that they're taking to allow these guys to be policemen, opposed to we see guys out here that can't handle 15, 16-year-old girls, like the situation happened to Kenny. You know what I'm saying? When they slam another girl, you can't handle a 15-year-old girl, and he's a grown man. Like, what is required in the
bro?
training?
It's just human emotion, bro. It's like at a certain point in time, especially like when those situations happen, you stop thinking rationally. You stop thinking, like, being a cop goes out the window.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand the power of anger or the power of embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The power of stress, especially when you got stuff going on, and like these cops have stuff going on in their lives besides just being a cop.
But that goes both ways. That's also whoever's being arrested as well as the cop.
True, but it's the cop's job. It ain't the civilian's job to be rational. It's the cop's job to be rational and do his job. He's being paid to do his job to the best of the ability.
Correct.
Yeah. So we not here to put You can put accountability on the person that they're arresting or the suspect and all that type of stuff, but it's the cop's job to basically make sure that he handles the situation the best way possible to where everybody can go home.
Yeah.
Now, I understand there are cases and there are instances where people are not going to be able to go home, and something might happen where somebody going to have to get shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sitting here, like, just saying, like, bro, there ain't a lot of stupid people out there. Right. You know what I'm saying? You done seen a whole bunch of videos where people done pulled guns, you done about to threaten the cop's life, then he ain't got no choice. But there's a lot of videos out there where a cop, clearly, there was no threat. Right. All you gotta do is put them down. I was just in deep elbow.
That'd be the part, right?
Yeah, and I'm not deep elbow.
No threat.
I was just in the. I remember I was in the neighborhood.
What were you doing in the neighborhood, huh?
First of all, like, you trying to go there? But I sell in the neighborhood my merchandise and stuff. My merchandise, nigga. You really trying right now?
Hey, by the way, guys,
what you be doing in the neighborhood?
By the way, guys, for the audience to know, My man, we're talking about the neighborhood. He's talking about the gay district in somewhere in Dallas, correct?
Yes, in Cedar Springs. They call it the neighborhood,
right.
so it's no disrespect or anything like that. That's what they call it.
Also, if you hear things in the background, people laughing, we also have a studio audience. They're allowed to ask questions back from the studio audience. If you like what we're doing, also make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. But back
yeah, so like there was just a fight out there on Saturday. Like it was just two dudes, like they was getting into in the middle of the street, and police. It was a white lady pulled up, and she was doing her job. Like she separated them, you know, and dudes sitting. She like sit on my car, don't move. Dudes getting up in her face. Like I'm watching this shit. And she like, you know, she starts with the taser. Nigga, I will tase y'all. Like, get back. I'm trying to get back. You, sit on my car. Like, it's so much stuff on it. She was the only cop there.
But with that being said, her being a woman, with that hostile situation, she looked to pull out a taser instead of looking to pull out a gun.
Because they were unarmed.
But see, and that's what this man was.
He was unarmed, but this is different.
That's the biggest problem.
I mean,
we're dying too much being unarmed, handcuffed, hands behind our back, with multiple police officers. I think that's the biggest problem, because if you can't handle one civilian unarmed when you have all the weapons, why do you have this job?
Exactly.
Like if you can't do that, you don't need to even have authority to be able to use these weapons and use deadly force when you can't handle an unhostile situation, when clearly the guy was scared as shit. And they always go where police officers use it, I was in fear for my life. Well, how are you always in fear when you have all the control, the power, the weapons, and the guns? Exactly. Like, how are you always scared? And if you're always scared, why do us, especially like civilians or even looking at black neighborhoods as well too, why are we going to keep calling scary motherfucker to help us? If we're scared, why am I calling someone else who's just as scared to come and help me? Like, it's like, when are we going to stop allowing them to use that I feared for my life as an excuse to murdering us? But with that even being said, we have some video here that I do want you to play. And I want to see your reaction to the things we're going to play on the TV. Go ahead.
That's the wrong button.
Yeah, we're going to start with a disturbing body camera of the deadly beating of Tyree Nichols in Memphis. It was just released in the last hour. Like many of you, the entire newsroom watched through that hour of footage. We're going to play a section now, but I want to warn you, what you're about to see is hard to watch.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Okay. Tase y'all! Tase! All right, I'm on the ground. Lay down! Lay down! Yes, sir. Lay down! Please tase me! I think to tase you! Get on the ground! Lay down! One! Now! I'm tasing! All right, okay, all right.
The video goes on to show officers eventually used a taser on Nichols. He then ran from the officers. The police department released 4 different videos. Another video shows the scene playing out from a street camera. From that perspective, you can see the officers punching and kicking him. In some of the videos, you actually hear Nichols yell for his mother. Nichols' mom spoke about the incident earlier today, where she expressed heartache.
No mother should go through what I'm going through right now. No mother. To lose their child to the violent way that I lost my child. Thank you.
All 5 of the former Memphis police officers posted bond and are out of jail. They are facing several charges, including second-degree murder and decades behind bars if convicted. There are protests going on across the country right now. This is video from Memphis, and you can see people are standing. They have signs with them. We are not hearing any chants just yet. We're not seeing any movement, but the city is bracing for these protests and has been for the last 24 hours. It's a similar scene across the country. We're going to continue to stay on top of this story and bring you updates throughout the newscast.
So many things go across my mind when I'm looking at that. First thing is like being unarmed is one. 2, he's calm at the time. He's like, all right, like chill. Telling you like, pretty much telling the officer like chill. But the way that they came at him, are you really like thinking about if you getting pulled over and the way that they talking, you don't even know like, damn, is these dudes really even cops? I bust your motherfucking head, sit your bitch ass down.
I ain't gonna lie, them niggas, the mug size, that nigga look like cops.
Yeah, right.
Like them niggas
looking like
nigga, that look like a lineup for the 49ers, my nigga. That
right.
look like, them look like full fledged.
Like these real police officers.
Yeah, like, I was like,
and so the kid looked like he was just scared as shit. But when it's our own people, that's kind of the thing that's like make it hits a little differently. When it's our own people beating the dog shit out of, I mean, just think about it. I don't like to discredit the situation that happened with George Floyd. Of course, we know we're completely in our condolences to that situation. But when you look at what actually happened, this was worse.
So I think
This was worse.
we're so used to being able to point the finger and say it's racism, it's stereotyping, it's this, it's that. This time, what do we have?
It's the same thing.
Us against us.
No, it's the same thing.
I mean, it is, but I mean, initially looking, it's
See, it's the same
black
thing.
on
And
black
what we
crime.
look at them, we use the words in terms of, excuse me, YouTube, but house niggas. Because when you have a racist institution, you don't have to necessarily be black, white, blue, or green. The institution is made to be racist, so you have racist thinking
What's
when
the
you're
color?
dealing with it.
Blue.
At the end of the day, they say, I bleed blue.
Blue, right.
So if you think about it, we're not also talking about when we're in protest fighting about this thing necessarily being about black men killing us, right? We're talking about the racist system that's killing black men. So it's not necessarily about you being black. It's just worse that our own people have been brainwashed into that same system of policing that was taught to actually catch us as actual slaves.
But you have
So
to.
when you have that institution that started from racism, see, that's the bigger problem, is that we can't change the narrative of something of what it started from. That started from catching slaves when they escaped. So the police institution was already racist. So when you're putting these black men back into that, when they feel like the good old boys, what do we do on a daily basis? We go out of our way to get acceptance from people who's taught to oppress us. So therefore they just jump right into that bubble. They'd be like, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I make boss happy. But it's even a bigger picture behind that. I don't know if Gloria can hear me. Gloria, wake her up, friend. She done fell asleep on us over here at YouTube. She knocked the fuck out. Cuckoo! You had something that you wanted to talk to us about the head chief of police? The head chief of police? Read that off to me. Yeah, she knocked out. It's been a long night for us. By the way, Bird Gang. Appreciate you.
Gang, gang.
Yeah, Bird Gang. Appreciate them Bird Gangs. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs for making it to the Super Bowl. With February 12th, you know what I'm saying? We'll be in Arizona. Check us out. But go right ahead. Read us off from the actual the chief of police.
So it says that. So I'm gonna just read what the girl.
The lawyer.
Her
lawyer or she an
Her name
activist?
is Hannah Drake. To
An
me, Mallory is like a active social justice leader, and she had put it on her page from what another girl had brought up. And what happened is that the chief of police in Memphis is the same chief of police that they had in Atlanta, that had the same group, and it got dismantled in Atlanta, same way here. But anyways, this is what she said. She was like, some of y'all won't like this. Y'all know me, I don't care. I need y'all to pay attention to this because I see a lot of people applauding the chief in Memphis. Chief Davis for her swift actions for firing the black officers. And Black Girl Magic, this is, but hold up. She goes, one, Chief Davis was in Atlanta where she lived in Red Dog Unit. So I looked up the Red Dog Unit. Pretty much Red Dog Unit is a group of police officers that they handpicked to go out and fight like really hard crime. Apparently, it was dismantled for pretty much the same situation that's going on now. So they banned it. So then she turned around and moves to Memphis and she starts the Scorpion unit, and these are the units that these black officers were involved in
That killed
her. Complaints were made about this unit. They seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Memphis PD put out a statement that the Scorpion unit is deactivated. She goes, I cannot and will not applaud anyone that helps create the problem. Chief David is a part of the problem. Don't let them write the narrative they are trying to paint. She is the issue. The fish rots from the head. So this is not the first go round. I mean, yeah, Memphis.
That the head of the police chief has had a unit that was overly violent with criminals
Yes.
as far as with their arrests. So they was actually dismantled before. She's now back in Memphis doing the same thing with a different group that now has just caused death on Tyree Nichols.
And
Which happens a lot. When
sorry,
people like that does happen. Like people get fired from jobs or leave certain places and go to another place and try to recreate what they had at the other place. You know what I'm saying? So that's not surprising to hear that.
Right. The corruption in the police department is not really a
Well, yeah, but
a
her
surprise.
point is that everybody is saying, "Yay, the chief!" You know.
Yeah, they was
I didn't hear about all that.
It was a lot of applause for her. Like she came and she fired him instantly, and she this, that, and the third. Which, I'm like, she was a part of that problem, so she got rid of them very fast, and she's getting applauded for it. But she's created the problem, is what it's been talked about. She did this in Atlanta as well.
I'm trying to figure out why she getting applauded. Because remember what we were just talking about? Oh, she fired him swiftly. What happened to suspended without pay until further investigation?
Well, it's
because
different when you're black.
Oh, obviously it is. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where this shit like cuts like so deep, and it keeps showing over and over and over that depending on your skin color, man, is going to depend on how you get treated. Because we looked at all these cases with George Floyd, Derek Chauvin. This dude got suspended with pay, was able to go home.
Got food.
Got food from his fellow officers, other GoFundMe, all that type of stuff. While black people were outside his house trying to fuck him up, and they got barricades around his neighborhood,
protecting him.
all that type of stuff, protecting him. But then these cops do this, and by all means, what the chief did was correct. This is supposed to happen, but it's like, why doesn't that happen for everybody that has a situation like this? Like, why is it that they instantly get fired? And they instantly go to jail. That should have happened with Derek Chauvin. That should have happened with other police officers. Tamir Price. All these people that have been involved in situations like this. Every cop should have been.
Because we keep expecting people that are taught to oppress us to do the same thing that we would do. That's the bigger problem, because we're not paying attention to the pattern that's happened since the beginning of our existence on this country. Like, we gotta stop asking the same people who are taught to hate you to help you. Like, you're not gonna go ask your competitors to give you the blueprint on how to make clothes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not the way it's gonna work. So if we can get over that and stop, we're expecting something different to happen from our white counterparts. The ones that are like that, that's not every white person. I'm not saying that, because we know that's not the case.
Yeah.
But ones that are like that, we're expecting better from them. You expect criminals to be criminals.
Yeah.
You expect racists to be racist. Like, so it's like, I'm not going to go and worry about a racist being racist. I expect him to be that. It's the ones who are not like that we need to be kind of bring light to, that kind of get them on the other side to see the realism that's happening in this country. We keep expecting people, we're giving humans way too much credit.
Oh, definitely.
We're expecting them to do something that they have never done.
I definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And so on all ends, on black, white, blue, or green, you know what I'm saying? And so what happened for sure should have happened. They should have put him in jail. They should have been convicted, charged, whatever the case may be, instantly. That's not going to happen when it comes to white or even some Spanish officers. It's not going to happen. Go ahead. You got a
Because
question?
wasn't there two white officers that have shown to be
Yeah.
there?
The original guy who pulled him out the car, but they don't show them on there.
Yes, and they're not. Are they suspended? Are they?
There's no information.
Well,
I
put
have a
like
question.
it.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
He was pulled over, reckless driving. of some
Yeah.
sort? How many officers pulled him over at that point?
It was only one, but then two other patrol officers came up. They've already proven that he was not reckless driving. That has already been stated and came out that there was no reckless driving. So they had no reason to actually pull the guy over.
And then why were there so many other people that came?
That is something that we'll never know.
Well, they just know a man is on the run. Okay, are you talking about when they first pulled him over? Or are you talking about like when they got to the point where they was
First
like,
put him over. They first put him over.
When they
had
first-
two officers pull him over. Like
right.
two different patrol
So and that's what I'm saying. Like when I was in that, when I saw what happened in Oakland, in Dallas, with those two guys, she was by herself, the officer. She instantly called for backup. Now, how far backup was, but they're coming. You know what I'm saying? So she's waiting. She's trying to detain it until they show up, so she can have some backup.
Right.
And they de-escalated the situation. Nobody went to jail. They were fighting in the middle of the street, like disrupting traffic and everything. Nobody went to jail. They asked him what happened. They put him aside, asked him what happened, and they got the information. They let both of them go. So But in that instance, they called the police officers or whatever. They call for backup, and then the dude escapes. Then they catch him 3 doors down from his parents' house.
Right.
Now that's 5 of them, but it's like, okay, it's 5 of y'all, 1 of him. First of all, it was 3 of y'all, 1 of him. Why did it take y'all? Why couldn't y'all catch him the first time? How did he get away the first time?
Or why are you even chasing?
Oh, why are you even chasing
What
him the first
reason
time?
do you not have to go pull a guy over? Hey, can I ask for your license and registration? Why don't he pull out your license and registration? Do a routine stop. I'll take you from reckless driving. Blah blah blah. Go back and get his information. Run his place. Run his information. Come back. Give him a citation and move on with your life.
Well, put it like this, bro. I feel like this is much deeper because I feel like they had to kill him.
At that point,
because if he didn't do anything wrong, listen to me. If he didn't do anything wrong, like you said, that he wasn't
his word versus them.
It's his word versus them, but it's like, but the evidence showed he was not pulled over for reckless driving. They had no reason to pull him over, right?
Yeah, it's a case.
So it's like, okay, now we got him on the ground the first time. We trying to arrest him for some whatever bullshit, and then he escapes. Now we catch up to him, and it's like, dude, we not even supposed to be doing this, nigga, off his ass. Why? Because
how did they kill him? Wasn't it?
They beat the hell out of him.
Beat the dog shit out of him.
They started with kicks to the head.
He was living, and he ended up dying, I believe, in a hospital later. Yeah.
Okay, due to the injury.
Yeah.
Because they thought he was dead already after they beat him to death, like, because he was like slumped, like they threw him in the back of the car, like he was out of there. He was not.
But the way they beat him was more like it was on some hood shit.
It was exactly, that's what I'm saying. I felt like it was a motive, like, nigga, they wanted to kill him because they was like, nigga, if we don't do this, like,
I mean,
we are going to be in serious ass trouble, but you still in serious ass trouble anyway because, nigga, they going to find out what happened. People are going to dig and dig.
And when you look at these situations, it's easier when you don't have the victim to sit there and be able to plead his case.
Exactly, that's the point. That's why I said they had to kill him.
So when you kill him, there's just your word versus
right, because they still got to go to court.
Right,
they still got a court date. So it's like they might be in jail right now, but shit, if there's no evidence and you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that they didn't do their job accordingly, they gonna get off.
The scary part to me about this is when we talk about compliant and non-compliant, right? Mm-hmm. So we have seen instances where like person was completely compliant, ended up dead. Hey, I got a gun here. I'm licensed to carry guns. Just letting you know, officer. Boom, you're dead. Mm-hmm. Then you got guys like, I'm scared, I'm fearful, I'm gonna run. Boom, you're dead. How do we get out of this situation?
Bro, I would say this.
How can we change it?
Now listen, I can't speak for everybody, but I've been in a situation like that where I got pulled over for like speeding or something like that. The officer asked if I had a gun in the car, and I did. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I paused when he asked me that question because I was like, do I tell him
right.
I got a gun in the car? Because I don't know how this is gonna go. But I said, just let go, be honest. So I told him, I said, yes, sir, I have a gun in the car. He said, where is it at? I said, it's in a concealed box. It's under my seat. You probably can see it if you shine the light right there. I was like, do you see it? And he said, no, I don't see it. I was like, it's probably really far up under the seat. He's like, okay, that's cool. I just want to know and all this type of stuff. And then he proceeded to do his routine check. Right. And I said, is there anything that you want me to do with my hands while you go back? He's like, no, just make sure they're outside the window. Complied, they were outside the window. So that was my experience, and I'm not saying that that's everybody's experience.
But see, because that's an officer doing his job, though.
But mine was different. I got pulled over. I was speeding.
She said,
I was speeding. Yeah.
But it was my first time since I got my gun license that I was so proud I got to give it to a police officer to be like, boom, I got it. He didn't even look at it. He took my license, saw it, handed it back to me, and kept my license. And I'm like, so what's the point of me giving it to you? Like,
whoa, that actually in Texas you don't even have to have it.
Not anymore.
So,
I mean, yeah,
you're right.
But I mean, it's. I've also been put down as a white woman.
I was going to do this right here.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's different.
Right.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
Yeah, but we had the same experience. Like he didn't trip, and it was. I want to say that the officer was Hispanic. He seemed Hispanic. So, but I complied and I told him everything. You know what I'm saying? I made sure that I didn't make no sudden movements. I gave him what he asked.
But that's the officer to me just actually doing their job. It's the ones that chooses not to do their job. Go ahead, you got a question?
What is the reason that they ask you if you have a gun in the car?
Just so they know.
Just so, because
I mean,
one
it's
is
just
Texas.
random, because every time I've been stopped, I've never been asked if I had a gun in the car.
Well,
They don't
one,
usually ask.
that's crazy because one is Texas. So now especially now that we are able to open carry, everybody is expected to have a gun now. So if you haven't been asked that question, that's a very
The crazy thing, I've never
surprising
been
question.
asked
Let's
that
say just
either.
stereotyping, she doesn't look like she has a
I've
gun.
never
I don't
been
know.
asked that either. But what happened before is I actually got pulled over. They asked to search the car. I'm thinking like, okay, there's nothing in the car. I don't care. Now, really, I was younger, so I'm thinking like, you know, actually,
even though that's illegal,
yeah,
you can tell them
I
no.
could easily tell no. I was young enough where I didn't really know those laws. So yeah, they go and destroy the car. I mean, pulling out speakers and all, like it was a full drug bust, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so while that's happening, I'm on Glade Road in Collegeville, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm face down on the hood like this.
Mm-hmm.
They pressing me down on the hood. I'm like,
What they pull you over for?
I don't know. I still to this day do not know what I got pulled over for because I didn't get a ticket. Never got a ticket. All they did is when they searched the car, tore up I was driving my boy friend Tremaine's car. I wasn't even driving my car. Tore his car up. Tore his car up.
So it wasn't even your car that they were
It wasn't
searching.
even my car.
That,
Didn't make it worse. It was a Bronco. I'm shout out to OJ. It was a Bronco. But they pulled everything out and put me on. I'm like, yo, what happened? Like, what did I do wrong? And so, never knew what I did wrong. I was happy to be living with a friend whose dad was a police officer, which still nothing really happened, but he gave me kind of a perspective on what happens in those routine stops. I pretty much should have told them no, and they had to actually get a warrant to do that, which I didn't know that. But I'm like, they didn't ask for a gun. They didn't really ask for anything. They just told me, get out the car.
no, they just
And
ready to
actually,
find
I search the car, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Ain't nothing in the car.
Right, they just ready to find something.
Right, they're looking to
that's why I
find
ain't ask you
something.
nothing.
Or at that time, because I was so oblivious to what was going on, they could have planted something, and I could have took an L for that.
Really? Yeah,
That's
that's why.
what
That's the
really-
main reason why they say do you to tell them no if they ask to search your
Right,
car because you do have cops
But
out
I'm
there.
thinking
that
like, I mean, it's crazy. It's like I'm coming from being in the hood to being in North Richland Hills, Texas. I had been around it so long that I was kind of oblivious to those things because I hadn't went through it that much. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I didn't do nothing wrong, nothing happened. Now thinking like, yo, this could have went sideways real quick. And that is I think the fear of most, like especially black men when they get pulled over. Like, we'll make a mistake when the cop behind us when we're driving right.
What?
We're doing good. He behind us, we gonna fuck around and go in
Nigga,
the
I
lane.
change lanes on purpose if I know a cop is
As soon
behind
as you
me.
change lane and they change lane with you, like, oh
God,
shit.
like, nigga, and I feel like they do that on purpose.
Yeah, to fuck with you.
Like, just to fuck with you, like, oh, well, he's changing lanes. As soon as I got behind him, he changed lanes.
Yeah.
Let me switch over.
So,
again.
like, you gotta
Let me
think
run this
about,
place now. Like,
you know, Mr. Nichols, like how how much in fear he probably was. He was thinking like,
bro,
I really
when you
didn't
got
do
niggas
nothing.
talking to you like that, I would be scared too.
Get
And
the
I'd be
fuck,
ready
get
to
your
run.
bitch ass out the car.
Car,
Get the fuck
yeah,
out.
like, nigga,
I'll
I'd be
break your
scared too.
motherfucking arm. You like, yo, what?
I'll break
They
your
kept
shit.
on
Like,
saying,
what?
Bro, I'll break your
Instead of
shit.
you saying, sir, I don't want to break your arm, but if I have to, I will. I need you to relax. I
Right.
need you to let us put you in cuffs because I don't want to break your arm.
And he was more or less, it's
But
like
he
he was shocked that these was black dudes doing this to him. Because if you notice, he was like this, and he was like, yo. Like, he was looking at them like, okay, like chill.
Because now you in survival mode, so I'm just going to sit here and just
I
let
don't think
y'all.
at that point he was. I was thinking when they got his head and they muffed him to the floor, he was thinking like, I might not get out of this shit.
Right.
Because right then is when he got up
Yeah.
and fucking ran off.
Exactly.
Because before he was looking at them like,
And he got
okay,
tased as he
these
ran
black
off.
cops more or less, it ain't gonna be as bad. Because he looking like,
Right.
yo, bro, like y'all tripping, chill. And then next thing you know, when they hit him with that, he like, okay, they for real. This shit different.
Yeah.
And he got up and sprint off, and they hit him with the taser.
They hit him with the taser, and the fact that you still ran off while getting tased.
That adrenaline was
that's
crazy.
your adrenaline. You are hella
You was
scared.
scared because that adrenaline
Hella
was
scared.
crazy. Because he got hit very close from probably about here to that light.
And see,
got
this
hit.
is my theory, and you know, I don't know what really what was going on in the officer's head, but this is my theory. What happened when they called it to him the second time? They're pissed off.
Oh, they mad. He ran
They're
away.
mad. They're
He got
mad.
away.
I mean, niggas run all the fucking time.
Right.
Like, you know, don't you root
But
for
he
me?
ran, but they were able to catch him.
But yeah, but if you're able to catch it, but it's
like.
like, okay, they're already pissed off. They're mad. So it's like, all right, I gotta take my anger out on something. You know, cops always make fun of each other in the office,
Right.
especially over some dumb shit that didn't happen to them.
And then
So
you
it's
see
like,
the extra footage too,
huh?
where when he chased after him, he was so fucking out of breath. he was tripping out, like he coughing up, spitting up. The other officer come back. They're pouring water on his face because he's so out of breath. It's an extended video that you see all that. They pouring water all over the guy's face. So he's all the way fucking tired.
Right.
So he pissed off now. He like, ran away. I don't try to chase you.
Didn't he get pepper sprayed too?
Huh?
Or were they just pepper spraying?
Yes, that was a second encounter, I believe.
Okay.
They got him with the taser first, second encounter they pepper sprayed. All right, there, this dude is pissed off.
Right, he's mad as hell. So they catch up to him. They're able to put him in cuffs. So once you in cuffs, what you gonna do? He's on his stomach. What you gonna do?
Threat.
So now it's like, all right, bro, nah, we can't just let a couple kicks to the head. Then you picking him up. Then dude starts beating him with the baton in the head, hands behind his back, and then another dude just starts throwing like 3 haymakers. Hold him up, bow. Then come cocks back again, bow. Cocks back another time, hit him. I'm like, bro, okay, so y'all really, and that third one, he was gone.
Yeah, he was
like
out.
You don't know if he was dead or not. He was gone.
Was out of there.
He was gone, and they continued to keep going, and then they finally picked him up, slumped over, threw him in the back of the car, and it was just like, yeah,
that's
bro.
not acting. When you know something wrong, you don't try to get help for him.
They even said it. They said the EMTs. It took 20 minutes for them to get there.
That's crazy.
But 5 officers show up that quick to apprehend his ass.
Yell for his mama. Like, again, we have the same situation with guys yelling for his mom, but I guess it's all
He
types
was
of
3 doors down from being at home, bro. It's like he thinking he gonna get home and he gonna be safe.
I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it. But dang, they caught me right here at the corner. Okay, put my hands behind my back. But you're not thinking for 1 second that they gonna start kicking you, hitting you with a baton, and throwing punches to where your ass is just knocked the hell out and basically dead.
And then think about the
I was
mother,
this close to being at home.
The parents gotta watch their child die on video. Like, just can you imagine that if your mom and your dad sit and watched your life go out of you?
Bro, it ain't even about watching. It's the fact, bro, he was in the hospital. What? Looking at him in the hospital.
Yes, he was
Fucked up.
It was like,
that's even worse. Like, okay, I see what happened. I'm laying here looking at this nigga wounds, bro. It's just like Emmett Till all fucking over again.
And I'm thinking all too, like, man, how can, like, and I'm a man. I have children. I couldn't even. I don't know how his mom did it. Cause to be that calm, to talk to
drugs.
I'm telling you
Definitely.
now. I'm telling you now. Get cell block
Being
C
sedated.
ready. You kill my kid, you best go ahead and get my cell block ready.
You gonna be that nigga that went viral for jumping over the courtroom and grabbing the.
It ain't getting to a courtroom.
Yeah, shit.
If you know me, it ain't getting to no courtroom. I literally will take the air out of somebody for my children. If I watch my child die before I die, off of someone else taking the life out of them being beaten, unarmed, for no reason, I would lose it. So I'm like, I like to see something, like we make fun of a lot of situations, but like when I say black women have a different strength about them that men just don't got. Because men, we'll be on a different level.
We're ready to wage war.
Yeah.
We're ready to
And
wage
the way
women,
that the women can take that in and even forgive someone in that situation. Man, I don't.
Because of emotion, women can process.
That's why we're terrible with emotions.
Correct.
That's why if you get an insecure dude, he's the worst person on earth. Like, our emotions are not good. So that's why the balance, of course, we'll go back on. That's another podcast. That's why we need each other. But we'll go on to another podcast to talk about. But to see her talk about that, the pain and the hurt in this woman's face, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I don't know how I would make it past the day if I went and watched my child, the life go out of him from him dying for no reason. I don't know what I would do. You got a question right there?
I was just gonna say also, Breonna Taylor,
Mhm.
his mom, she was pretty much almost lost it too, because come to find out they both have the same birthday, same exact day, month, and year.
Talking about the guy who just got here in Nichols? Oh God!
So they had to calm, her mom down because she felt like
Trigger.
She
It was a trigger,
living it all over.
Wow.
Well, the problem that it's some part of psychology. It's where whenever we see things, we either see ourselves or our family members as that victim.
Oh, for sure.
And so Like, I haven't watched all the clips just because I don't want to have to think about friends and family in that position. I've seen enough to understand the
I watched them all. I was pretty angry.
Yeah,
it
I don't
really
want
just,
to.
my body got hot because I was thinking, because I have 2 boys. And I'm thinking like, I don't know what. And it makes me also mad as a father that when you're trying to instill the right tutelage in your child to what to do in those situations, I'm like, what the fuck do you tell them? Because when you do right, you die.
That's what I asked you.
When you do wrong, you die. So like, what do you even do in that situation? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's tragic. I hope we get more information on what's going on, and we'll come back and we'll update you guys on whatever information we get. I know we have a lot of podcasts where we talk and we have some fun and we laughing and things like that, but this is actually not a laughing matter. It's very serious. I would definitely love you guys to comment below if you have any additional information on this case. We would love to get as much information as possible because we do not want to be up here speaking about things that actually is not true. So if you have more information, please let us know. I appreciate you guys watching us. We love y'all. We out. I'll be damned.